Hello.
There you go.
I was worried that I couldn't hear you. Okay, cool.
Bluetooth headset.
How are you?
Tired? Is that a good answer? No, I'm fine.
Cool.
How are you?
Yeah, tired is a good answer. That goes for me as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm finally back home because I was in London for 3 weeks.
yeah,
So that was a bit
yeah,
of I miss my my own bed.
yeah. That I've been in the north of Norway now for
Mhm.
about the same time, and I also miss my own bed. So,
Is it for vacation or?
well, I'm not on vacation. So we're just driving around through and meeting family and stuff like that while I'm
Oh,
working.
that's
So
nice.
that's why I'm tired.
Oh, that's why you're also on the top of a mountain or halfway up a mountain yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realize I could have gone, but I didn't realize that we should be going. I was like, oh, we have everything, so let the TOC figure it out, I guess.
Mm.
But yes, we should always go to those meetings if we can.
Yeah, it's going to be easier when we start having the weekly check-ins that we can coordinate a little bit when it comes to
Oh
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Yes, that is true. I think also that will probably hopefully make it easier for Thomas to participate.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi.
how's it
Hey,
going?
Colin. I guess we're both tired. That's what we
Sorry to hear that.
that's where we landed. Oh, it's all good. How are you, Colin?
It's an easy emotion.
Yeah, I'm good. Uh,
Not
Still waiting
tired.
to hear back if my co-located talk will be accepted. I got there's interest, please answer these questions email yesterday.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
So
What
hopefully that's
co-located
hmm?
of the co-located events?
Open tofu.
Oh, nice. I had no idea they had their own event now.
yeah, they do.
Aren't they under the Linux Foundation though?
Technically, yes.
Hmm,
So,
interesting.
but these co-located events are basically just random stuff.
Yeah,
When the
fair enough.
DevOps con thing happened, it happened first uh, during KubeCon. Then all of a sudden it was under the Open Source Summit. Now it's not happening. It's just basically whoever sends in what gets randomly accepted, and
Yeah.
that's the co-located events.
I mean, if there's a lot of interest potentially, there's no reason for them to reject it.
Yeah.
Works for me.
All right. Should we wait another, let's say, 2 minutes maybe to see if more people are joining? I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have anything on the agenda except for the one issue that you put there. So
Yeah.
maybe we'll do a short one, which would be great because I'm cooking, as you can see.
Well, things that are on there is basically just the information stuff. So
Yeah.
nothing
Which
out of
is,
the
I
blue.
mean, it's the summer holidays right now, so I would have expected people to be more focused on other things at the moment, which is fine.
Mm.
Fine by me. But yeah, let's just give it until 5 past.
The Andre tried to join but couldn't. Hold on, let me.
Does he have the right link?
See. Oh no, he's there.
Okay, there he is. Hello. Hello.
That link from the official website is not working, and it just joined me to different room where nobody was there.
I guess we haven't fixed it everywhere yet. Well, now we've moved all the meetings to LFX, so hopefully we can just make it a bit easier. Because with the LFX link, I don't know if you saw this. I guess shortly before the meeting, it just is a Zoom redirect. But if we're outside of the meeting time, you get this little screen, and you can have a Google Meet invite sent to you, like a Google Calendar invite sent to you. It gets updated.
No,
as
no,
the
no. I
meeting-
just joined to Zoom meeting, but in different room.
Yeah, I think it's the old meeting still, yeah. But if you have a account for the LFX platform, this meeting is now on it. So you don't have to RSVP anymore to community.cncf.io, because that was really to get that meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Let-
we also have to fix it, because I think that's probably the problem, that it's still the old link.
So hold on, let me.
I
Yeah,
thought I
link
fixed-
from
I
this
updated-
page isn't working.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yes, that link is not correct. So if you,
I think let's create maybe an issue to update all the links now, because all the meetings have moved. Even the infrastructure lifecycle one, even though it's not officially a working group yet, it's also on LFX already. So
if
we
you
can-
use the link that I posted there, you'll get a calendar view of all the events, and you can, if you click in on it and register, it will get registered to your profile, and you will get updated whenever there's a change in the meeting schedules or whatever. So that should be
Yeah.
correct from now on out. But we probably haven't updated all the places where the links at.
I mean, we just don't know where. We just don't
We need
know
to
where.
we need to figure out where every link is
Yeah.
first.
Okay. Let's just get started. Robert, do you mind taking notes?
I can try.
Or if someone else wants to volunteer taking notes, that would also work.
Sure, I'll take notes.
My experience is that. Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much, Colin.
Sure.
Do you have the link?
Yeah, I'm in there.
Okay, excellent. Cool. So yeah, let's just get started on intros and new faces. I don't think there are any. So unless someone really wants to introduce themselves, you're free to do it. Like, you can introduce yourself if you want to. Nope. Okay. Okay, let's just move on to the status updates. So platforms working group, you want to update us, Robert?
Yeah, sure. I don't have a lot of updates from the working group itself. I guess the only thing of note from last time is that we have a nomination going for Atol is supposed to take over the chair position in the platforms working group from me. So I think anyone who has anything to say on that has already voted. And I'm guessing Colin is gonna, if he hasn't already, is gonna open an issue on the TOC repository to get them to just look over and give their blessings. And hopefully then I can step down as co-chair in the platforms working group, because dealing with all these things gets a little bit too much.
So I think we need to also clarify who is the leadership that needs to vote on these kind of things internally. In the past, we just basically said everyone, so including working group chairs. And then here it's just the chairs and the tech lead. That's not a tech lead anymore, but missing the tech lead, who's actually a tech lead, but who's not active.
Yes.
It doesn't really matter because we've reached majority anyway, but between the three of us, we need to specify
Yes.
that. But
I had the same thing with the next status update for voting in Sarah, where it's kind of like I had to go through all the lists and figure out who is actually active now and who I should add as mentions on that. I think that is something we could make more easily available for people, and
yes, like even just a GitHub issue template would probably be helpful here.
Yeah, I was thinking about adding that because the oldies votes follow the same structure anyway, so that shouldn't be too difficult to do, and we'll just update the template if there's a change in leadership. I don't think that's going to be a big operational overhead at all. So I can do that.
Agreed.
We can just write that down as something I can do.
Yeah, perfect. Excellent. But yeah, I think from our side, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think it's fine because the other working groups don't really care that much, and there's no reason that the other working group chairs need to vote on this. I think it makes sense that it's just the tag leadership voting on it internally and then handing it over to the TOC.
Yeah, what we can do is in the issue, I just add us 3 chairs as kind of like a mandatory tag, and then potentially add a just list of the other working group leads to kind of if they want to, like, but as long as the chairs agree, then you can go on to the TOC. Just to give people chances to give their thumbs up and in general.
Or their thumbs down if they have any concerns.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. I think that anyhow, like we can talk about the details. It's just that I was just checking that I think the 3 of us all voted yes. So yeah. Excellent. Okay. So I'm just looking. I think we don't have anyone from app development here, do we?
I'm in app development. I'm not quite
cool.
a leader, as it were.
That's fine. It doesn't matter. Do you have any updates?
We are still getting feedback on the survey that we're putting together. And we're also, as far as the write-ups of the projects that we're featuring for app development, as developer-centric or beneficial to the developer role, we are reaching out to project maintainers to give feedback on what we have, with the idea that get as much community input as possible, not just our own thoughts, right? And at least validate what we've got, improve, and then hopefully have ready to publish before KubeCon.
Excellent. I once opened an issue with the CNCF service deck for the survey that you're doing. Is that no one has looked at that issue yet. Is that a blocker for you? Do I need to chase, or is that just additional and you're fine just working on it for now?
That I don't know. That would be probably a lead question. I'm pretty new.
That doesn't seem to be blocking you, so for now it's fine.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Artifacts. Do we have someone from Artifacts here?
No.
All right. Okay, then infrastructure lifecycle is the next one, I think. The last one.
Yeah, Ryan and I are here. We spent some time, there was feedback from Emily Fox and Lisa from the TOC on the charter, and we made adjustments to the charter and updated the PR, and she approved the PR, but the actual vote in front of the TOC is still pending. I'm not sure where their next meeting is. So as far as we know, we've addressed feedback on the charter to make sure that essentially the purpose of the charter and the deliverables aren't open-ended, and that there's a clear, purpose to the charter, to the working group expressed in the charter. And mainly around, a lot of our goals were kind of, oh yeah, we'll write a white paper or we'll do interview, like, and that type of stuff is like, all right, well, once you do that, what happens? So we were a little bit more explicit with, okay, the first thing we're going to do is create a framework that incorporates some of these. And then once the framework is created and we do some use cases with that, we'll kind of revisit whether the working group needs to continue or if the working group has effectively done its job.
Okay, sounds good. So the TOC doesn't usually vote on these things in their meetings. This is like an async stuff. So what we usually have to do is to chase them a little bit. So what you can do, and it doesn't have to be the chairs, right? Like anyone can change it because all the information is in the issue. So there's no need necessary that it's like a tag lead. So you could go to the TOC channel, for example, on Slack, or there's a tag-shares channel, and these are both public to my knowledge, so everyone can join. And you can post the issue there and just like either ping them directly, like CC them in the message, or just say like, hey, TOC, please like vote on this.
Got it. I will make sure to do that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other working group updates that have not been brought up for whatever reason? Okay. Then let's talk about Sarah's nomination for tech lead.
Yes. So Sarah's been doing a tech lead's job for a couple of months now. So we started with this, I guess, new concept of having tech leads on sort of like a trial run, not necessarily because we want to check out how people are, doing the job, but also just, how, so they can feel how it's like to be a tech lead and if that is something they want to continue to do before we start voting people in and updating everything. And Sarah's been doing a really good job. She's been helping me with a lot of things, including the review template for projects that kind of got adopted from to all the tags. So she's already been making some big contributions from a tag perspective. And in general, she's just been a fantastic person to reach out to and discuss various things. So I opened the issue to officially have her as tech lead. That doesn't mean that we don't have room for more tech leads, I guess, because she will kind of be the only one since I, went up to be co-chair. So the nomination for tech leads issue probably could have put that also in the agenda. I guess is still an open forum for people to, yeah.
Yes,
volunteer.
It's too bad that Dylan has left now because he wanted to also put himself up for tech lead. But I just want to mention that there's no set pathway or like career path through which you can become tech lead. Anyone can technically become tech lead. We do want people to have been a bit active in the tag before, like it should be someone who we've seen in the meetings or we've seen on Slack, so not coming out of nowhere. But there's no like set requirements really. And as you said, the test run is supposed to be for both sides to see like, does that make sense? Because we did see it's a lot of work, and I mean the more people are on the leadership team, the less work it is for everyone. So hopefully, the more we are, the less we have to do, and also just people who are active without having any kind of leadership role, those will also help us and then make our work a bit easier. So if anyone in this call is interested, there's an issue. I don't know if it's in the notes.
It's not. I can go fetch it.
Thank you so much. There's an issue we can basically self-nominate or nominate anyone from the community. Dylan has nominated himself. And we will evaluate it. For the people who already or will very soon have another leadership role, for example, working group chair, we've decided to discuss this on a case-by-case basis. For Dylan, I think we just talk about it after the call because it's not something that everyone needs to know. But there's nothing that says you can't do both because Robert has been doing both. Josh before him has been doing working group chair and tag chair for a while. So generally speaking, we do not have the luxury to really turn people away, but we want to make sure that you will have time for both so you don't burn out and then you don't want to do any. So just trying to keep us all healthy and still wanting to do the job. And if you want to if you think that Sarah's doing an amazing job, like feel free to add a comment to the issue as well. It can only help. It's only good because we also attach that issue or like mention it in the issue that we then have to open with the TOC so they can approve. So it's always good if they can see, oh my God, there's a bunch of people who really love her. So it makes their decision easier too.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments on the tech lead issue?
What does a tech lead do? I don't feel very much about it.
It's a very good question. Pretty much anything that a chair does, a tech lead can do or be asked to do. There's a lot of admin stuff that needs to be done. For example, setting up the meetings, hosting them, making sure that videos get uploaded to YouTube, like these kind of things. Also, when there's projects who want to present, giving them some idea of like what they need. I think most of what we do is like admin stuff, and then there's some fun stuff as well, like preparing for KubeCon. What else, Robert? I might. I've only been.
Yeah, it's like helping with project review notes, being there in project presentations and helping taking notes, and just in general be someone who can help out with all the various tasks that a tag kind of has to do without kind of having the responsibilities of the like a chair that required to vote certain things and stuff like that. But
yeah, to be fair though, like because we don't have so currently we have 3 chairs and 1 tech lead who is kind of like on the probation period. So because we're not that many, basically we all have the same amount of rights. I mean, yes, the chairs technically, well, first of all, the chairs have term limits. They're 2 years. Tech leads don't have term limits. So a tech lead would be a tech lead until they decide to step down. In terms of like, responsibilities or rights in this tag, it's pretty much the same. There we don't make any distinction between tech leads or chairs here. So yeah, I'm not sure if they do it differently in other tags. They might.
They might, and we might later on, for like all we know. Like this is just kind of just how Tag App Delivery has been doing this.
Yeah. We have. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's basically.
Yeah, we had also discussed for a while if we wanted to have working group chairs just automatically be tech leads. But that kind of like, I don't think people like that idea very much because that as a tech lead, your scope, your field of influence and everything is more like towards the entire tag, and some working group chairs just want to focus on their own working group, which is totally fair. But yeah, these things can change always. The only procedural difference is that the TOC, they own our charter and they set the kind of like expectations for the chairs. And then we as chairs can then decide how much influence and power and responsibilities we want to give to the tech leads. Right. So that is the functional difference or the official procedural difference. But then, yeah, as I said, like in our tag, we don't really make a difference. Like when Robert changed from tech lead to chair, I don't think it made, besides the official title, I don't think there was a difference really in what you did or how we communicated.
Not really.
Not really. You barely noticed.
Well, I feel much more like I feel that I have much more responsibility.
Yeah.
But that's. And speaking of which, I when looking through for issues and stuff, I noticed there's a lot of stuff in the GitHub repo that haven't been updated. Josh has mentioned there several times as chair and stuff like that. So I just wrote down now that I'm gonna open or start fixing some of that. So pull requests coming today.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess I'd just be like as a tech lead or chair, like we are trying to just be aware of like things that need to get done that can bring the tech forward in whatever way. It is a lot of admin stuff, which can just get annoying, but it can also be like technical things or like content-wise, topical. stuff. I mean, it's called a tech lead, so that's technically originally what the idea was. But yeah, I mean, also if you are interested in doing some more like leadership things and are not sure if you want to be a tech lead, then yeah, we can also talk about that, because like there's the process of the test run, of course, but even if you say like I don't want to do a test run, but I just want to help with XYZ, then that's also fine. Like we're hardly at a point to turn people away if they want to like do some volunteer work. So yeah. Any more questions or comments? So the issue that Rob has now put in the notes, which is the nomination for tech leads, there is a bit more. I mean, there is a tiny description. We really have not put a lot of like specific requirements and stuff in for reasons, right? We just don't want it to be like this is the only thing that a tech lead can do. But yeah, take a look if you're interested, or if you know someone from your working groups, or someone who might be interested, then yeah, that should be hopefully a bit helpful. And I think that's technically the end of the agenda, unless you want to talk about KubeCon or something. I think that's the only issue that's kind of pressing, coming up regularly.
Well, I can give a little bit of update. I haven't heard back about the project booth. I think the notification date is well, not now. So I haven't heard anything about the booth. We're still kind of waiting for that to start setting up like when we want certain things to happen. We know we kind of want the lightning talks and maybe some coordination with the various working groups for like times. Like for instance, like the platforms working group has this time where it's kind of like, if you're in the working group, please go to the booth then, and you will all kind of be together, stuff like that. But that kind of is blocked by if we have a booth or not. So still waiting for that. Besides that, nothing new to update there, except maybe that the tag maintainer track panel discussion was accepted. So we will have a panel discussion, which I will be hosting. So we'll see how that goes. It's actually pretty good because I can just ask questions and allow everyone else to answer. It's perfect. The least amount of effort for me when it comes to presentation, if I can just host the panel. That's great. I love it. So yeah, and based on all of that, of course, I'll be then in Salt Lake City. So that's cool. So I'm looking forward to meeting people there.
I'll be there.
Yeah, who's going?
I hope so. You're on the panel.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be a little bit weird?
Anyone else go? I'm not going, but who else is going in this call? Oh, no one. Well, just...
if my co-located event gets accepted, I'll be there.
All right. Cool.
Right. Excellent. Do you not even know if we're gonna have a booth, or is it just that you don't know about the details of the booth?
I don't know if we're gonna have a booth.
Okay.
We sent in the form to request a booth.
Yeah.
I tried kind of like getting some inside information about it, trying to like ask if like that is something that will happen or not, and I kind of just got the notification date is a certain date, and that's it. So I have no clue. But worst case scenario, we'll set up something, right? We'll meet up somewhere at some point and do something, and maybe try to. There's a lot of stuff happening during KubeCon, right? So there's all the various events from various vendors and such. So we'll try to set up something a little bit more social, I guess, even if we don't get a booth.
Yeah. Again, I mean, like you could ask George maybe, or I can ask him as well. But it's still also like what, like 2 months, 1.5 months, something like that. Oh yeah, they're sometimes also like just a bit slow on those things because they're not as like especially for the tags, like it doesn't make them money, so they're like sometimes a bit slow on those requests because they have to deal with.
We'll know in 8 days. So
okay.
the form was open until August 12th, so it's just recently closed.
I see. Okay, yeah. Okay, then I'm less concerned then.
Yeah, so we'll know in about a week.
Cool.
Like
Excellent.
I said, worst case scenario, we'll figure out something.
Yeah, we'll manage. I mean, in the end, it's also less work for you. Like managing a booth is a lot of work.
Well, in the end, it's a conference with 10,000 people, and I'm gonna be spinning around. That week is gonna just fly by.
Yeah. I think you're also the only chair there, so we're counting on you.
Good.
Cool. Excellent. Right. Any other topics that come to mind for you that are important that you want to bring up? Also, topics that are not super important, but you just want to talk about them. It's also okay. We do have the time.
Yeah. I want to know, I have a random question, but first, can we know what you're making?
I have a salmon mac and cheese in the oven, and I'm making a salad right now, like a strawberry salad.
It's breakfast here, so it's a little weird to dinner.
Oh, I've been away for a really long time, and today is the day that I'm like making a nice dinner for my husband because I haven't seen him like almost a month.
Oh wow. Can I ask a random question for the chairs then?
Yeah.
So my team at Microsoft have another project that we're thinking about submitting to CNCF. And some things that are happening that are a little bit confusing to me, but they're happening, is it was suggested that we present it here in app delivery, but it's a database project, which is kind of weird. And I think the reason why it was suggested that we present here was because it's probably most relevant to developers, and app developer working group is here. Does that make sense? Like, would that be weird if we presented it here, or would that be a distraction?
I don't think it would be weird. And we actually discussed having the project presentations not in the general meeting anymore, but rather in the working group meetings that make the most sense. So some platform projects would only be presented in the platforms working group. And in this case, maybe this should be presented in the app development working group then.
Okay.
We haven't made that a rule yet, but this is what that's what we decided kind of, right?
Sort of decided. At least it makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah.
It's
it
nothing
makes
else.
more sense, I think, than
There are more people, at least.
Yeah.
Who can
Also,
put relevant questions.
Yeah. Did you also talk to Tag Storage about the project? Just, because they might also want to hear.
We haven't yet because it's still private for like another couple weeks. So it's kind of like this is the figure out who we should talk to stage.
Right. I don't think it's forbidden to talk to two tags at the same time. Because the people are there because they're interested in the topic, so there's no reason why you can only talk to one group of interested people, right? Who it will then belong to if it becomes a CNCF, that's a different topic. But as long as you're still just like gathering feedback, which I guess is part of the presentations. And I'm not just saying that because I want less projects under us, but I think it's just also helpful.
It's also just like a bit of a square peg. Like I was part of we're the same people who created Dapper like 2 years ago, and when we brought Dapper to CNCF, it was like well, where does this belong exactly, kind of thing. And we're kind of going through the same thing where like we like bringing these projects to CNCF because we really like working with the organization, and there's good things going on here and good people here. But then it's like something, okay, it's a database project. Like where exactly does that fit in? Like I know there are some database projects in CNCF, but it's not really a center of gravity for those kind of projects right now.
Where etcd belongs to.
Yeah. I don't.
I think that's storage, but it kind of gets a little bit weird because a database project doesn't necessarily mean anything. It could be a like database operational product or a actual database, or et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, and this
so
is like
where it belongs kind of.
this is in the etc. category for sure. And it's definitely something with more of a like developer writing applications kind of bent and less of a like backup restore your database kind of thing, if that makes sense. I'm being vague. It's not public yet. It'll be public in a few weeks.
You can offline. You can talk to me because I have NDA from Microsoft. So, but
great.
That's actually a thing. So as a Microsoft NAP, you could talk to me, and I can try to help you in advance.
That's true. That's true.
So if you want to, we can have that discussion. But I think it kind of becomes more of a. It depends on what the product, which alignment is more correct for a project, and that gets a little bit complicated in various scenarios. But sometimes it's very easy. It's like you created a database product literally. Well, then it's kind of obvious where it's at. Sometimes it kind of crosses a different various domains, and that then it gets really weird at some point.
And I think it probably makes the most sense for us to present to app developer or app delivery and storage. And that's just like it's a pretty new project. It would be coming in as sandbox, obviously, and like more feedback from more diverse people is better.
I think presentation for both tags in whether or not it's tag app delivery or the application development working group, like that really doesn't matter. But just getting it in front of more people, I think, is a good thing anyway, just to get feedback. And then I guess the TOC will kind of at some point decide this should go under this tag. And then the official process would then include them, but then other people can chime in with the observation from the various presentations, and I think that's just a good thing.
Yeah, because for any kind of sandbox graduation or whatever it's called, they will basically ask, you have had to present it to the relevant tag. So if you present it to both tags, then one of them will almost certainly be relevant. So you've already done it anyway, right? And then in the end, there will be like a meeting where technically all the tag leads, and I say technically because we weren't there yesterday, are coming together to discuss. So then again, the more feedback you have, and the more like positive voices you hopefully have gathered, the better it is for you anyway.
Cool. I just wanted to check if we'd be creating noise. Sounds like we're not creating noise. So
I mean, that's kind of the point of what we're doing here. I think we kind of forget that first and foremost, we kind of have to evaluate projects. That was the original idea of the tags. Excellent. Any other questions or comments?
What is the next deadline for reviewing projects? And I just want to know a little bit more about the process. How is it happening? I saw there are some deadlines.
There is if you go to the TOC's repository on GitHub, there's a project board, I believe, and I think that they have they basically have a like calendar or something. Let me see.
Yeah, projects. I see. And next review, August 13th.
That was last week.
Oh, so it's not yet updated.
Yes, I think they do that. I want to say twice a year or maybe thrice a year even. So the next one would be Marchish. No, wait. If it's 3 times,
No, I think someone said September to me in some context.
September.
I'm not 100%.
That's next month.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure when the updates that I'm too new for that, but I'm not 100% sure when the review specifics are. But there was some sort of like catch up thing in September. The TOC has had a lot of stuff going on. So for your specific project, Andre, I think I'm not sure if they're gonna bring it up there, but I can follow up with the TOC on that and get a specific date, so that you know when you have to get the improvements that the TOC suggested done by.
Yeah, we still have to solve some issues with our project to have more adopters, to understand separation of open source project from business and improved governance. I think it will take some time, and I just thinking if it's good or is it a good idea to apply again in a while, and I just looking for the best date for this. So we will align on those changes to satisfy all these issues.
Yes. I'll figure that out.
Thank you.
Okay, so it says the TOC reviews sandbox applications approximately every 2 months. Approximately. It's a lot. I didn't realize. I thought it was not that much. Okay. But yeah, so if you have stuff to figure out with the government and anything, then maybe the next one is not yeah, just ask, I guess, and then we'll know.
Well, worst case scenario, you don't resubmit for the next one, but
one after.
Continue working on it, and when you feel like the project is ready and all the concerns have been met, then you will reapply.
Yeah, I think we will try in the end of maybe in 3 months. That would be enough. So we will have more adopters. We're growing very fast right now.
Yeah, good. Very good.
Cool. Anything else? Doesn't happen that often that we have so much time to just discuss random stuff. Sweet. Okay, then thanks for joining. I will see most of you in 2 weeks for the next one. And have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.